Capitol Hill, Chief Strategist and Communications Director for the Republican National Committee, Sean Spicer.
Sean, let's start with you. A lot of talk this morning around the table about this race being over. Is this race over?
Not at all. We're in it to win it. I think a lot of these polls in the states and nationally are showing the trend going back into Donald Trump's favor. When you look at the absentee ballot and early ballot returns in most of these battleground states, it's really good news for the Republicans. It's not so good for the Democrats. In a lot of these key counties where Republicans need to do well, our numbers are up in terms of not just ballots requested, but ballots returned. And in key counties that the Democrats need to do well in, they're way down on their returns from 2012 in state after state.
Hey, Sean, it's Willie. Good to see you this morning. As a man who knows the map well and has studied the path to victory, are you not concerned as chair that Arizona, Georgia, and Iowa now all appear to be swing states for you?
Well, I'm glad that Iowa's a swing state. It was a state that Obama carried twice. I mean, you look at the map as, you know, you're talking about Nevada, Pennsylvania, Michigan, states that Obama carried twice that are in play this cycle. So we've actually expanded the map this cycle versus last cycle. I feel very confident about both Arizona and Georgia, though.
All right, is Sean Spicer, Mike, being overly optimistic here?
Well, Sean has the hardest job in American politics right now, and he's slugging for the Republican team. Look, Iowa is the bright star. That is one that has moved away, but they're going to need a lot more Iowas to make this thing happen. And while the race has tightened a little, it's gone from upper single-digit disaster to a mere 6 or 7 point drubbing. So, you know, maybe that trend will continue, but I just don't see how Trump breaks out of the box he's in. He's always the 42% guy, and she tends to move between 45 and 48. That looks pretty tough to me.
So Steve, midweek we had a national poll showing 3%. We had some state polls coming out, Monmouth showing a tightening of the race. You get to the end of the week, doesn't look quite that way. But again, though, this is a day-by-day thing. But your numbers suggest still a long shot for Trump, and you know, he's, what, 6-7% probably down nationally.
That's what it looks like, a 6-point race. I think if you average all the polls together, at least the way we do it, came to 5.8. So call it a 6-point race nationally. And you're basically in a scenario where you got 7 or 8 states on that map that you call toss-ups right now. Every single one of them is a must-win state for Donald Trump. He'd have to win. You could start in North Carolina, Florida, Ohio, Iowa, Nevada. You could put Utah in that toss-up category. You could put Arizona in that toss-up category, that congressional district up there in Maine. He has to run the table and win all of those. And then if he does that, he has to find one state that right now looks like a blue state and flip it, whether that's a New Hampshire or a Pennsylvania or Wisconsin, something that you look at right now and you say, I'm just not seeing it. He'd have to find one of those, and then he'd be over 2 seats.
Alex just had a new poll out from Missouri, shows Trump up by 5 points.
Got Missouri a little bit closer.
47 to 42%. Sean, though, you know, obviously look at the map, and you are right. Iowa, you look at Iowa, and there's some other states that are in play this year that haven't been in play in the past. He's done better in Ohio, certainly, for most of the campaign than a lot of people expect. But look at the past couple of days. This campaign's being fought in Utah, North Carolina, and now Arizona today for Donald Trump. Doesn't that suggest that Republicans are back on their heels?
No. I mean, look, Governor Pence was in Utah to do a fundraiser for a Trump victory to help raise money for the entire ticket. So, I mean, look, if we want to, I get it. Right now, everyone's trying to nitpick where he goes. Hillary Clinton was at an Adele concert the other night. Senator Kaine was at the Indians game. I mean, to nitpick where they go, at the end of the day, they're going to be in those battleground states the remaining 12 days, making sure we win. But I think that we got to go back to fundamentally 2 things. One, the map has expanded since the last time. Hillary Clinton's, frankly, the one on defense. If you look at the number of states, and you talk about Maine, too, that hasn't been in play in years. Pennsylvania, Ohio, Obama carried twice, Virginia. All of these states are actually part of the equation this time, and some of them a little bit further than another, but they're all within the margin of error. That's important. The map has actually expanded. Then when you go to the actual early vote and absentee ballot requests and returns, those are favoring Republicans, not Democrats. So again, I think as we enter this final 10 days, it's important to look at where the votes are coming from on both sides. And right now, I think we feel very good about the momentum. Last is, I think, when you talk about these polls, it may not be as fast as we'd like, but in each one of the cases, the trend seems to be in Donald Trump's favor.
All right, Sean Spicer, thank you so much. Greatly appreciate it.